I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. The Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest Pennsylvania is the largest nonprofit food distribution organization in Northwest Pennsylvania and the only food bank in the region. Second Harvest solicits, receives, inventories, stores, and distributes millions of pounds of grocery products each year. They distribute to hundreds of nonprofit member agencies that directly serve people facing hard times in 11 counties. Here with us today to talk about the program and planned events is the Marketing and Media Coordinator, Natalie Massing. Natalie, welcome to the show.
Judy, thanks for having me on.
I know, it's the first time that you've been on the show.
Absolutely, yes.
So why don't you tell our viewers how long you've been with the Second Harvest family and a little bit of your background.
Well, interesting enough, I was born and raised here in Erie, Pennsylvania. I did radio for over 30 years. And then I left Erie in 2011 to pursue other interests, and one of those happened to be nonprofit work.
Okay.
So I was with the American Cancer Society for some time, and then due to the pandemic, I was furloughed last December, as with a lot of other people.
Right.
And I ended up getting a hold of some friends back north, and they had asked me what I wanted to do. And I said, well, I would like to continue in the nonprofit world. I'm not sure what, and somebody had suggested for me to call the Second Harvest Food Bank. Mm-hmm. And of course, years and years ago, I had worked with Karen Sedgey. We did a lot of great radio promotions with them. And I said, is Karen Sedgey still running Second Harvest? And they said, absolutely. So I contacted her and had a Zoom interview last December and started with the food bank January 11th. So I'm very happy to be here. It's been about 9 months. So I am learning a lot about food banking as we speak.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, we are certainly glad to have you aboard, Natalie.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, of course, COVID affected everybody, especially the nonprofits were hit the hardest.
Yes.
I think everybody was, but nonprofits really felt it. What challenges did you face during COVID, and are there any challenges that you're still working through?
Well, I think those challenges still exist. They were put on the back burner for a while, but now that we are looking at variants in regards to COVID-19, it's a day-to-day operation for us now in regards to regulations and what we need to do. Now, I was not with Second Harvest when COVID hit last March, but I can tell you that our staff had to do so many things. We weren't allowed to have volunteers, so we had family members and people come in, and they boxed for all of our programs to help those. And our increase, I believe, was at like 26% because people were laid off, didn't have jobs, and were at home and quarantined, and there were so many things going on. But we stepped up as an organization, and I know that everybody was hands-on from the start of the pandemic. Then, you know, as things eased somewhat, we were allowed to bring a few volunteers back in, and then it got to be more volunteers. And right now, we're back up to our capacity with volunteers, and of course, we use all the protocol for COVID-19, but we do not know what is going to happen in the months to come.
No,
nobody
does.
Yes. So right now we are full on board with, and of course, as you know, our volunteers are our cornerstone of operations at Second Harvest. So right now we are blessed, and we will continue to do that. And if it comes down to having a situation again, our staff will step up and do what needs to be done to make sure that everyone is fed in the 11 counties we serve.
And you certainly will. Natalie, what actually is the Second Harvest Food Bank, and how does it work?
You know, that's a good question. I mean, when I first started learning about food banking, and there's so much to know, and there's so much more to know, but we are at the warehouse. We have a 60,000 square foot warehouse, and we are the wholesalers. We buy the product that needs to be bought, then our retailers are our agencies. And I'm happy to say we are at 414 agencies now. Last year we were at 395. We have increased our agency capacity.
Oh my
and
goodness.
there are retailers, like they come in, they get their food, and then they take it to the pantries and the soup kitchens and the emergency pantries that we have around the 11 counties. And then they do what they need to do to help their clients. So, I mean, that's really how food banking begins. And we also, of course, have several government agencies. We work through the government. We have a couple USDA programs that are funded by the government. They call it TFAP, which is the Emergency Food Assistance Program. They also help us with our senior boxes as well. So there, you know, we have the government that helps us with some of our things, and of course our donors, also, you know, our fundraisers, the organizations, there's nonprofits, you know, our businesses, our companies, our corporations. They all jump in and do wonderful things for us that we could not do ourselves. So that's how food banking works at Second Harvest.
So it's not just you guys.
No, not at all.
No, it is a whole village, pretty much, isn't it?
Yes, and you know, that is a good phrase to use. It's a whole village, because it takes a village of people to feed, this past year, over 88,000
Oh my
individuals.
goodness. Oh
and
my goodness.
those under the age of 18 were, I mean, it was like 25,000
Was it?
children.
Wow.
So,
Wonderful. Great job, you guys.
thank you.
You know, I know every month is important to you at Second Harvest Food Bank, but September is Hunger Action Month. And our viewers may be watching this after September or whatever, but I'd like to kind of talk with you about what you do in September and talk more about this important month in banking.
We have been very, very busy. This is what we call our month. And it's Hunger Action Month, and it is in collaboration with Feeding America. And Feeding America comes together. This is their 14th year of our Hunger Action Month. And that's why we thank you, Judy, for having us on, because I know we're coming to the end of the month, but how important it is to raise awareness. And this year especially, we are talking about the impossible choices people have to make. The choices between medicines and eating, because we all know how expensive medicine can become for our seniors and those people that are you know, having trouble with their health. So we looked at the impossible choices people have to make with medicines, and also, you know, childcare. There's that thing where, you know, parents are having to take their kids to childcare, and it's very, very expensive. Costs a lot of money to take care of your children. So there's that push and pull with childcare as well. And geez, now your rent. Now we have this situation where, you know, the help with rental during the pandemic has stopped. So there are people that are becoming homeless. People that, you know, need to decide, do I pay my rent, my utilities? What do I need to do? And then they're hungry. And basically the bottom line. So, you know, we have focused this month on the impossible, you know, things. I mean, nobody ever sits down and thinks, wow, do I eat? Do I have to pay this bill? What do I need to do in order to put food on the table? And that's what we're here for. We're here to get that food that they need. And let them pay the things that they need to pay down, because that's where we're at now. As you know, in the 11 counties we serve, there are people that, you know, that have never been in this position before, Judy, ever. And now, you know, they are, and they're very dignified.
Right.
And, you know, it's really, really hard for individuals to ask for help, but we are there, and that's what we do. And we want people to be fed, and fed nutritionally too. So, I mean, Hunger Action Month, we had a Hunger Action Day last Friday. Orange is the color of Hunger Action Month. So everybody was in orange, raising awareness of the month itself. And I was in Harrisburg last week. They had a press release and a press conference on the steps of the Capitol. And let me tell you how encouraging it was to see the Capitol lit up in orange for the month of September. And Governor Wolf and his entire team, we had some of their team volunteer last week during Hunger Action Week, during the month, I guess. And it was just, they are on board and they understand, the governor and our legislators and our local legislators know how important it is to focus and be aware of what's going on in our state.
Well, what can the viewers do? What can me and the viewers, what can we do to help recognize this?
And, you know, first off, food shouldn't be an impossible choice. And if you can help, you know, the first thing to do is, you know, get to our website, nwpafoodbank.org, very simple. And it tells you ways that you can help. We are always looking for volunteers. And we're coming up on a very busy time through the holidays and that, where we do a lot more for our neighbors in need and for those that are food insecure. So you can volunteer your time and your talents. We also have office volunteers. They come in, they help us with, you know, our marketing points and things that we need to send out. It's like I said, they are the foundation of our organization. You can also make other people aware, or go to one of our pantries and see the 414 agencies out there that are doing the work that needs to be done. And you know, get on our Facebook page and our social media sites and share the different facts and share the posts that we have that state the things that are going on. Like every day I have posted an organization or a corporation or somebody that has helped us along the way, you know, especially these last several months.
Right, right. And what other advocacy work do you do in September?
Well, that is the reason for our stop down in Harrisonburg. Karen Sedgey and I went there last week, and they're going to start working on the bills that we need and the monies that we need for our government programs and our TFAP and our USDA, the USDA helping us out as well. So we have been doing a lot of advocacy work, and then we share that. We come back to Second Harvest and we share that with our staff. And then our board members. And then we share that with the public too, to say, here is what we are lobbying for right now. We need this to stay in place. Like our SNAP assistance, which is a huge help as well. And we have a SNAP coordinator at Second Harvest that will help you with SNAP benefits and to get those SNAP benefits as a liaison. So those are the things that, you know, we are doing advocacy-wise to make sure that people know that there are many avenues of food banking, and the government is part of very much on several of our programs that we will need to have continue in the new year.
You know, you don't realize the different programs that you do need to have in play and how to have the government help different government agencies.
Yes.
You know, many of us just sit here and think, oh, you donate some food, you know, to the post, you know, that day when all the postal service collects different bags of food, and you just make boxes for it. There's so much more to it.
Oh, yes.
That's why every time you guys are on the program, I learn something new every day. But what I would like to do is, could you kind of give us a virtual tour of a day in the life of Second Harvest?
Absolutely. I'm amazed and still amazed. And like I said, I'm still learning. But our warehouse staff is there at the crack of dawn. Every day, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays as well, because now we're coming up on a very busy time. Our summer, we usually don't do any packing on a Saturday, but now we are back to packing on Saturdays too. But it starts out with, you know, we order up a lot of food. We have semi-tractor trailers come in. They are there at the crack of dawn. Our warehouse folks are there. They get in there, they get the food. They put it where it needs to go into the warehouse as we get set. And, you know, some of our warehouse people have been here for a long time. And I do believe Tim Tompkins just celebrated his 36th anniversary.
Really?
With our organization, and it's those people, and they're on the ground. They are people that are also taking care of all our agencies. Our agencies come in to get their food as well. So, I mean, our operations have increased twofold, threefold since our days of Ash Street, when we were over on Ash Street. And I'd like to also talk about the Benedictine sisters, because they really started this program years and years ago. And then, of course, we ended up on Ash Street. And then our facility on Grimm now is just beautiful, fantastic. And, you know, we were able to do that by capital campaigns and donations and donors and our volunteers. But as you walk around early in the morning, I mean, we are buzzing. I'll go back there. Everybody will be doing their thing, very, very busy. And then, of course, us in the front office, you know, we have agency relations, and they take care of all our programs and our distributions. And then you have community development, like myself. And we are, you know, getting out there and letting people know and putting campaigns together and marketing Second Harvest.
You were talking about different programs. What programs are available at Second Harvest for those that are food insecure?
Well, you know what? We'll start with our littles. Our littles are our school pantries.
Okay.
And we have school pantries, and we also have our backpack program. We're so proud of the backpack program. And what happens is that when the kids are in school, on Fridays, they go to a little special spot. Nobody knows, you know, nobody knows the business of the backpack program. And they get their backpack filled with items to take them through the weekend. Because that's what happens. If we don't know, we're feeding them at the school level, you know, Monday through Friday. But when they're going off on vacation, or, you know, they're on summer vacation, or whatever the case may be, but these backpacks we fill, and they take them home for the weekend. And I had a little one say to me once, I'm just so happy to help my family. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm really helping my family over the weekend. So our backpack program and our school pantries are very, very important. We are working on a campaign right now with St. Mary's to raise some more funds so we can keep the backpack program going for another 4 years. So the littles, they come first. And then our high schoolers, it's the same thing. We'll have school pantries, especially personal hygiene products. So important, where they can go and they can get these personal hygiene products without anybody knowing, and take those and have them, you know, toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoos, conditioners, things that they need.
Natalie, I had no idea you did something like that.
Yes, absolutely. And then, you know, then we talk about our adults.
Yes.
And there are over 88,000 of that. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people, and so we provide, like I said, with the agencies, they'll go to their local agency. If they don't, we also do our Produce Express programs, and they are fantastic.
What is a Produce Express?
Yes, the Produce Express is where we take the food and we go to our different areas, Corey, Warren, Union City, right at our own facility too. I mean, the 11 counties we serve, and we set things up. We have great volunteers out there, and we get everything set up. And, you know, because of COVID-19, we've had to go to a drive-through distribution. We used to be able to open our trucks up and let them take what they wanted to, but now we have to box them. So this distribution, they come with their mask on, they have their trunk open, we ask that it is clean, they drive through, we put all the 25 to 50 pounds of great food in their vehicles, and they're on their way. So that is our Produce Express, and like I said, we are normally at most places twice a month too. So we do the Produce Express program for them, and you know, I think they feel more comfortable just coming through and doing what they need to do. So that is a big program for us, and we look to help them provide very nutritious items. And what's really nice right now, Judy, is the fact that we have the farmers are coming in. We have Jim Renshaw out in Fairview, who specifically has corn, you know, and I think it was over 13,000 pounds of fresh sweet corn that he has brought to our facility to give to those in need.
That is wonderful.
Yes, and we have people that I can't even explain how grateful we are. Like people that have just big gardens, and they're at the end of their gardening season, and they'll come to our warehouse and they'll bring whatever they have left over. Just 2 weeks ago, I said to Karen, we were back in the warehouse, and I looked over and I saw huge bins of zucchini.
I was just thinking, I said,
oh my God.
I can imagine, because I know how many end up on my doorstep.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, we get, everybody comes together and they're just like, hey, we have this left over here. Take these zucchinis. I looked at Karen, I'm like, Karen, I've never seen so many huge zucchinis in my life. But that's people reaching out and helping us to give those nutritional products that, because right now that's important with all the diseases. So many people with diabetes 1 and 2 that need these important items in their diets. We also have another program that I just really want to talk about briefly. It's our Healthy Pantry Initiative. David Godoy works with us. It is a government-funded program, and David is a licensed nutritionist. And he goes to our pantries, and I think we have over 20 involved right now. It's a newer program, but we're looking to increase that.
Okay.
And he goes there and assesses what they have going on, and the program itself provides different what do I want to call containers for fresh fruits and fresh vegetables and all that stuff, where he can go in there and he can create such a beautiful space where people are more apt to take the nutritious food and the healthier foods. He also has recipes that he has, and I've gone, I think it was last week, the Edinburgh Food Pantry. He does a recipe, they call it cowboy caviar. There's no cooking involved. It's beans, it's all these different really good items for you, and corn. And he mixes it all together, and he's like our chef on staff. And to show people that you can eat healthy, and we're looking, we keep focusing on the healthier things that you need to eat.
Right.
They also, like at the Edinburgh Food Pantry last week, they had, pick 2 of these fresh fruits and pick 2 of these fresh vegetables. And then, of course, we load them into their trunk.
Right.
But it's growing season. We're coming to the end.
Yes.
But it's been a wonderful summer of fresh fruits and vegetables here.
Sounds like it's been busy, and I know it's going to continue to be busy. What are some of your annual events that you put on?
Actually, right now, next week, we will be finishing off our month-long Hunger Action Month. So next Thursday, we're having our Empty Bowls. It's called Empty Bowls, and it is something that we were supposed to do back in March of 2020.
Right, I remember that.
So they pulled the plug on it, but we're going to do a drive-through event.
Good.
And what happened is that grade school children, high school children, businesses and that, offered up, made bowls, put bowls together and things of that sort, which we will be giving out to those that have tickets. And it was a sold-out event. So those people will be coming through next Thursday and getting their homemade bowl that they made, fresh soups, cookies, cakes, also drinks that we will provide in a bag, give them their items, just to show that there are empty bowls every day on people's tables.
You guys do such a wonderful job. I'm so sorry that our time is coming to an end. I could just talk with you for another hour because
Judy, I'm glad.
You have so much information, and I wanted to talk a little bit about volunteers. How important are volunteers to your organization?
They, like I said, they are the foundation of our organization. You can go on nwpafoodbank.org. You can find the spot where it says, do you want to donate your time? Volunteers. You can sign up. And then we go from there. We get in touch with you, find out what hours are good for you, and we need to keep that going because we need all the hands we can get. in order to do
get
the
it.
work that we do.
I get it. And viewers, I believe Natalie will find something for everybody.
Absolutely.
You show up or give her a call. But
Absolutely.
Natalie, thank you so much for being on the program with us
Judy.
today. I'm so glad you guys have found ways to work through some of the challenges
Yes.
that nonprofits have been facing, and you do a wonderful job. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Judy, for having me here today. It's been
Viewers,
wonderful.
viewers, if you have any more questions, you want to volunteer, please check out their website, give them a call, look at their social media for any events that they have planned. And again, thank you so much again. Second Harvest is absolutely wonderful.
We appreciate you.
Viewers, thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.